Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Garrett and welcome back to Code the Web and another one of these casual coding videos. Still not sure on the name. I think I'm going to stick with Coding Uncut for now, but one of the suggestions that I got was Code Along. So I kind of like that, might go with that, but want to just live with it for a little bit, think about it. Anyway, so in this one, really like the last feature that I want to have in Everest before I launch it, of course, other than that like button, which seems to be causing me some trouble, just still struggling to think about how that one's going to happen. But regardless, is a blog. So I'd like to have a blog on the site that anyone can look at. It won't be a login required. Anyone can look at it, but nevertheless, I want to have that incorporated into the website some way, somehow. And the way that I'm thinking is instead of making another app, so basically if I were to make another app, we'd have another one of these folders right here, like feed and users. Those are the only two apps that I have right now. We'd have another one of those. I'd have another one of these whole file things. I'd have to go and not redo, I'd have to go and code out a bunch of additional things. And I feel like there really just isn't a point to doing that. Especially because I already have a system in this website set up so that I can have posts, which is essentially what a blog is. It's just not interactive, or it's just, no, it is interactive. It's just only one person can post a blog post versus everyone being able to post posts in the main site. So what I'm thinking is basically, I sort of started with this already, but I'd like to have, I did this in the feed, so my models, I did this in the feed model for user posts. I added this field. It is called blog post, and this is a Boolean field, which means that it is either true or it is false. And essentially what I'm going to say is, okay, if it is true, or so it'll be, this is going to be like a check mark thing, right? So you can check off if it's a blog post or not. And people with the user permissions of admin, which I'm about to add right here in the user profile model, people that have the user permissions set to admin will be able to see this field. And if they want to make it a blog post, then it won't be displayed on the main like news feed or post feed or whatever. It'll be displayed on a separate blog page. And I think that's really, really awesome because it'll basically it'll have the same effect as if we had a blog app and did this whole big blog, but it won't have the same footprint because we're kind of just doing the same thing. We're just displaying it in a different way. So we want to keep the site as lightweight and nimble as possible. So for user profile now, I'm going to add a new field, and we're going to call this user permissions. I'll just call it permission, or I'll call it user level. That makes more sense. Like that better. And we'll set this equal to models dot character field. I think there is like probably a better way to be doing this, a more like official way as per Django documentation and whatnot, but I know that this is going to work, and you know, we can update things later, I guess, if need be. So we're going to set this to, you're either going to be a user or an admin. Actually, let's really just define some roles right now. How about that? I kind of like that. So let's have Everest user roles. Alright, so let's have the admin, and their permissions will be that they can do anything and everything. Now let's have an author, and they can do everything a user can. But they can also write blog posts. No, that's not right. Can also add /remove. No, can also add blog posts. Okay. And then we'll have a moderator, and they can edit posts, and they can delete posts, even if it's not them, for example. Delete posts. And then we'll have just users, and users can create posts, delete their own posts, and they can also, let's see, what else can they do? They can also comment on posts, and then they can also delete their own comments, which is actually already set up. So the user is basically already set up. We have to add the user set up, and the admin is sort of set up, but the admin is set up as me. So it says, like, if the user is Garrett, then it can do these things, not if the user level is. So I just have to change how that's, what that's saying. And they can delete their own comments. Side note, now that we're going to have authors and a blog, if you want to be an author, a writer for this blog on Everest, actually probably going to be using this website even more than the Code the Web website. So let me know, just in the comments, or I don't know, message me on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Just get in contact with me somehow, and then we'll do some stuff. But not going to be accepting everyone. But if you're interested, let me know. And I think that's it. I mean, I know WordPress has like a ton more. Like they have like contributors, they have editors. I don't really know what these things do, but I think for right now this is good. So let's put that over here. So we're gonna have the user level and the max that this can be. I feel like this should be a choices thing, but the choices were causing me issues before. So for now, we'll just make this a moderator, and then we'll just make this like a character field. So like I, as the admin, will have to type in what your permissions are. And we're gonna do this for now, but this is not at the Django level. This is more so at the site level. And what I mean by that is that Django provides its own admin interface that the developer can use, and you can set permissions through there. And that's what I meant when I said there's probably a better Django way to do this. For now, we're just going to do it this way, and this will be more of like not me using what Django's framework provides, and more so just setting up my own site, on my own. And I think some actual developers, well, I guess I'm a developer at this point, but some other more seasoned developers might say one way is better than the other. But I think if it works, and the site is fast and efficient and whatnot, then what's the difference? So so this will be the limit. The max length for this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I say 9 characters because the word moderator, which is the longest word that we have here, is 9 characters. So we're going to say max length is going to be equal to 9, and then we're going to say blank is going to be equal to true, because you're not going to be able to decide this. Actually, no, blank is not going to be equal to true. Default will equal user. That should be in quotes. Default, and that's also not how you spell default. Default is going to be equal to user, so everyone will be by default set up to a user, and we're not going to show this when you sign up. It's just going to happen. So we have that. I think that's probably it for the model level, for the model for user profile. Now, you could type in the word "the" into this character field, but that wouldn't change your user permissions. Actually, in fact, that would probably give you no user permissions because it's not going to be registered as a user here. The system just won't know what to do with the word "the" if this is equal to "the." So yeah. But we'll update that in the future. Okay, so now this is, like I said before, this post is going to be, or this is my actual posts model or table in the database. So this post or blog post field, which is set to a Boolean. So that basically means it's going to be true or false. It's going to be set to false by default. And if it is false, that means it's just a normal post. But if it's true, that means it's a blog post, and we want this to be displayed somewhere else. So how do we do that? Well, now I think, and I do actually wasn't able to figure this out. It caused me an error before when I did this. So I do have something from Stack Overflow here. This is also, I want to be here. And we're going to override the initialize method. And the way that I had this set up before, I will show you, is I had it set up like this. This was causing me an error. The problem is that you have to have this outside here because there has to be a fields, I don't want to call it an attribute, but a fields, like you have to define the fields. And then you can kind of do whatever you want with it. So you have to define all the fields that are in your form, and then you can kind of say, doing whatever you want, you can kind of say, okay, like now let's do this if this is the case and stuff like that. So you can't just have an if statement like that, which in theory, you know, worked really well, but isn't the way it works. So let's go back to here. And this is what we got. So we're going to save that. All right, now I do have this on another screen. This was a question that I asked earlier today. It's right here. This is my question. Basically saying to display form fields depending on the user, and this is what, you know, what I got back. So Daniel Roseman down here, shout out, thank you. This guy, by the way, crazy reputation. My reputation on Stack Overflow is an 86. This guy's is 375,000. So I've clearly got some work to do. But nevertheless, that's the answer that I got. So I'm going to try out his solution that he recommended, and we'll see if it works. So we're going to say define the initialize method. So we're basically overriding this method right now. I'm going to say self, and then we're going to say args. Still don't totally understand the args and quargs stuff. You know, don't exactly know like when I should be putting it in and when I shouldn't be. I understand what it does. It basically takes arguments that are dynamic, that you will get from your site, from the content on your site, and it basically does something with them. So you can kind of define, okay, that we want to take in some args and keyword arguments, and then we want to do something with them. So that's what it's doing. I just don't understand when to be putting it in and whatnot. So we're going to say user is equal to quargs. A headache right now. Pop. I don't know what dot pop is. I'm kind of curious. We're going to find that one out. And we're going to say user. What does Django dot pop? Okay, so the method pop, which is what we have here, removes and return. Excuse me. Removes and returns the last object or ABJ object from the list. Alright, so I'm not entirely sure why we're using that here, if I'm being honest, but two people said to use this, so clearly that's what they want me to do. Oh, I understand. I don't know why this guy is using it in this way, but I do understand. Someone else has it, and I do get it. Okay, so we're basically saying that if the user is not me, then we're gonna remove it. I don't know why he has .pop because it's somewhere else. So I'll show you. This guy down here, I got two answers, both basically saying the same thing. This guy says if we're gonna say super, which is just I think saying that we're taking the whole thing or something like that. Not totally sure, but this guy is saying basically if the user is not, or if not the requested user is Garrett, then we're going to take self, which is this the current model form that we're using. And we're going to fields pop, which means to remove the blog post field. But this guy up here, Daniel Roseman, is saying that up here, he's saying user equals this. User equals pop remove user. So I'm not totally sure why we want to remove the user, but then he does the same thing, super post form initialize, same exact thing as that guy. And then this, I like this if statement a lot better. He's saying if username is not Garrett, although now we're going to say if user or if user profile dot access level, or I forget what I called it, is not admin or moderator. Is not admin or author. Yeah, not admin or author. Yeah, then we'll do that. This, and then he just says delete del, and then self fields. So I think I'm gonna go with this. I like this if statement better. I don't know why this is here at all, honestly, but I like this if statement better, so I think I'm just going to go with that one. So down here we'll say super say that shouldn't be in quotes, never mind. Post form self dot init yeah, and then arguments and keyword arguments, and then we'll say if user, but I don't want to say that. I don't actually need this. I don't think I need this. What I do need, though, is I need to replicate this because I need users, models, and then I need, from here, I need user profile. And we're going to say if, where were we? We were here. If user profile dot user level is not equal to what? To admin. I think the admin should be able to do everything. Admin or author. Then we're going to delete self. That's not how you spell self. Self fields blog post. Okay. So actually we got no errors, so that is sick. Also what I need to do is I need to now, inside of my feed templates, I'm gonna need a new view. So let's open up the feed views, not the managed, the views. Also URLs. Yeah, and we're gonna go to views, and we're gonna go to home view, and we're actually just gonna copy and paste this, and we're going to say down here, I guess. Whoops. We will say blog views. So we're going to copy that. We're also going to, so we got this. This is all we need. We got this. Models. I feel like we have the right models. You don't have to be logged in, and we're going to call this the blog view. Blog view. We don't need this. I think that actually might be everything that we need, and we don't need that to be there. All right, now in URLs, we're going to, actually not in this URLs, we're going to do this inside of the main URLs for the project, because I want this to be /blog, not /feed/blog, and everything in the other URLs would be /blog. So let's try doing this up here, and we're actually just gonna copy and paste this, and we'll just change this to say blog view, and we want to say blog, so /blog, and we're going to change this to be blog. And then in the here, not there, in down here in the base, we're also, I think we want to, okay, so we're going to add this in the base, and we're going to say we're going to duplicate this one, and we're going to say blog. We're going to say blog. That should be it for now, possibly. It's going to tell us we're going to get an error at some point. I mean, I might have not have done something right, but at some point we're going to get an error that says that you don't have the right templates, and at which time we're going to go and add those templates down here. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me just think really quick. God. So I'm just not sure what. Let's find out. Let's just see. I have duplicated this, so if I mess something up, I mean, I can always revert back to that. Let's go manage.py, and we'll say make migrations. Spell that right. Okay, so we didn't get any issues there, so we did type everything in kind of correctly. Let's say migrate. Wow, we still typed in everything right. We'll say this, and we'll say run server. Okay, so I don't know how, but we didn't actually put anything in incorrectly. Now we get this blog, and this is going to the same place. Why is this going to the same place? I think maybe I should add a model and just, let's not user post. Okay. Oh, okay, I know why. I do know why. That's because this app is saying that it's going to go to look at this right here. But this, so what I could do is I could say, okay, if it's the URL, I could get the URL and say if the URL is equal to just the home page, then display all of this. Otherwise, display the. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to say, we're going to make a new template here. This also might not work, just a heads up. And we're going to say blog.html. And inside here, we're actually going to copy and paste everything. And we're going to save that. And we're going to say, I don't need this. No, I will keep that. Post for post in user post. Let's see. So I'm going to say if let's say if post dot, what was it? No, if post here is equal to true, then do all this stuff. It should be there. Can leave that there, but it doesn't really make a difference. This should be here, and then I want this to be here, and then I want to have another if statement, or the end if down here, and if, that's not spelled correctly, and if also, we're going to go into Chrome, and we're going to log in to the admin so that we can add you know what? Question. Oh, so this works. Let's check this out. Hold on. Hold on. What was I doing? Oh, okay. So I don't need this. I don't think I need this either. And I also don't need that. What we're going to do, oh, that's nice. I can actually, that's really annoying. Formatting is sometimes annoying, just heads up. And I'm a little tired today. Again, I seem to be tired every day. I really don't sleep well. But regardless, it is what it is, I guess. So that's why sometimes I'll draw blank, you know. Okay. So we're gonna say hold on. If I'm gonna see how to get Django get current URL in template tag. Request path. If request path is equal to where are we? Is equal to this, or just I guess we'll just keep that for now. Then we will include this file here, which is blog. Else, then we're gonna actually display like our feed, you know. Doesn't have to be that far over. And then this is here, and then this is there, this is here, I think, this is there, and then this says end if. Okay, moment of truth. I have a feeling that it didn't work. Unless, nope, it did work. Hold on. Wait a minute. Well, it might have worked. It might not have worked. We have yet to see. So let's add a new one of these, and we'll say title first blog post, just so you guys can see. First blog post, and we'll say it worked. It worked. And we're going to check this off to true. Okay. Now that did show up here, but also this is no. We have to filter out things. So this might go in the for loop. We might say where. I don't know if this is the right code, by the way. Where post dot where did I have this? I had this somewhere. Where post dot no, this this one, blog post is equal to true. And then I think I want to replace this and just say where it's equal to false. And I got an error, so I don't think that's right. So Django template tag filters model field filters. What am I trying to do here? Django display template tag. That's not spell template. Template tag for loop where. Let's check this out. I was just there. Hold on, maybe I can do it a different way. Maybe I can say another if statement. So here I would have another if this, then display everything, right? That worked properly. And then here we have and if. How about that? Oh, hold on a minute. I think we are onto something. And then what we want to do is that was a joke. We're not onto anything. There's a really good shot that I have to undo everything that I did here and just bite the bullet and make another blog app. But I'm not ready to give up on this yet because in theory, it's possible. So I feel like this should kind of work. 4 posts, so that's good. That's like what we want. This is also on the blog page. So if this is equal to true, we have an end if there also. Make it more readable. Just trying to think about how I can do this. Because we have a blog post is set to true, however, on the blog page. You know what? Maybe there's an issue. I mean, maybe this isn't right. Maybe this bit isn't right here. Request path. What if we just have /blog? Request path. Let's say Django template tags find current URL. Maybe there's a different way to do this. Maybe I'm not. You know what? Unfortunately, I think we might have to just do the other app because even if even if we don't, even if we get this to work, right? Like, let's check this out. You're not going to be able to see a difference here, but if there was a difference, so let's log out for a minute. If we go to home, you have to sign in because I don't want people to be able to see the news feed or the posts feed if they're not logged in, right? But if you go to, oh, hold on a minute, I was wrong. That's pretty awesome. Let's log in then. As you can see, I have not figured out the forms yet. So maybe this is possible then. All right. So there is another way, like you can do it in the views. I just don't know how to incorporate that right now. Return current path. If current path, I could say if current path. But do I want that to be probably on the model, right? They're on the, let's come back to that one. Ooh, okay. Here, let's see this one. If, and then let's copy this and say that. Oh, it worked. Bam. Wow, that's awesome. Love that. Check this out. Clearly there needs to be some CSS worked out there, but regardless. So we have our homepage here, and then we have the blog. It worked. I don't know what's wrong with the CSS there. We can log out, and if everything goes to plan, you can still see the blog there, which is pretty awesome. Definitely really happy about that. So let's log back in. One thing we want to do is update so we can have like user roles and whatnot. All right, so that worked. Let's add in the user roles, which we're gonna do somehow. And actually, that CSS is really bothering me, so let's do the CSS first. Actually, I need to eat something. So what we got to do now is we need to first off fix this CSS. I don't know why it's doing that, but you can't see that. Okay, so I don't know why this is doing this. As you can see, it is not how it should be, like how it is over here. But regardless, we got to check it out because obviously that's not what we want to have going on right now. So it looks like we are still, so main, it's interesting. So there's two mains. Oh, I know why. Because main is set to be like 70%, and we have two mains in here somewhere. So we have this, so we just have to get rid of this. And we have to get rid of this one down here. And watch this. Boom, there it is. The reason was because main, which is like my main content column, and then this is like the sidebar right here. So main is set to 70%, and so there was two mains. So basically this large main is 70% of the entire like container, and then there was another one that was saying 70% of main. So that's why that happened. So that was easy. Really, really easy, quick fix. So we have the blog there. Okay, cool, perfect. Also, not sure if I'm gonna have the all members thing. I feel like I want to really have the center of attention on the newsfeed, not newsfeed, I keep calling it that. That's what Facebook calls it. We can't call it that. On the post feed. And then, you know, maybe as the site gets bigger or something, or if I introduce like followers, we can turn all members into like the discover page, and it'll be like, you know, most followers or something like that. So that I think maybe is a really good idea. But then again, it's not really harming anyone to be there, so maybe I will just keep it there. Okay, so what we have to do now is set up all these permissions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, one thing I want to do really quick is we're going to make a default profile picture, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Sketch. We're going to make a new one. We're going to click A. We're just going to drag out some artboard, and we're going to call this, I'm typing over here, by the way, on the left. We're going to call this default. Actually, we'll just save this document as like default Everest stuff. So we're going to make this profile picture, and we're going to save this as inside of Everest. It's here. We'll save this as defaults. Call it site-wide. I don't know if that's a word or not. Site-wide defaults. And we're going to make this 400 by 400. And then we're basically going to make this look like a person. So we're just going to bring out this oval here, and we'll set this right there, I guess, and we'll drag it out a little bit more. Maybe even drag it up a little bit. We can kind of go like that. And I don't want there to be a border. And then we're going to take another one, and we'll just kind of make like a head type situation. Probably be smaller. Do we want this, or do we want like a bit type thing? Maybe this can be a little bit. That can work for now, I guess. And I feel like I want these. I don't want it like that. I want it like this, maybe. I guess that works for now, right? And one thing we definitely want to do is we want to use the Evverest colors, which is just this nice blue right here. So we're going to take this, we're going to do that, and maybe I want to have this color here be the accent. Probably not, but that's interesting. Nah, we're just going to keep it like this. So we're going to highlight this, excuse me, and we're going to export this. We'll just say export to graphics, and we'll just say this is the default pro pic. Default pro pic. Perfect. Save that. We can quit Sketch now. Now inside here in media profile pics, we're going to go find our profile picture here, which is in Everest graphics PNG, and we're just going to bring it in there. We're also going to highlight that, and in the model for user profile, under this pro pic, we're going to set a default equal to this profile picture. And now we're going to actually migrate it really quick. So we're going to say manage.py. That's not how you spell manage. We'll say make migrations. And we'll say Python manage.py migrate. And then we're going to run it. Python manage.py run server. All right, so now if we come to all members, let me just see something really quick because it didn't update as it should have. This test person right here should now have that. So let's go to user profiles. Let's go to test. Maybe default isn't one that you can put there. Let me look that up really quick. Django image field, image model field. So there might not be a default. We might not be able to set the default, which is unfortunate. So let's look that up then. Let's say Django set default image in model. Gotcha. Well, maybe my path isn't set correctly inside of here. That would be in here. Oh, wait a minute. I just don't have it correctly in there at all. So that could be a problem for sure. Try this now. Still does not work. Maybe I want to set this to media default images to / media default images. Maybe. Let's try that. If this doesn't work, we'll just come back to it another time because I do want to get those permissions. That's like the main thing that I want to do right now. Make migrations. Manage.py migrate. And let's run it. Alright, that didn't work. Yeah, alright. That's fine. We can come back to that later. The site has not been ruined, but what we're going to do is actually, I'm going to take away this default thing here, just because it's not really serving us a purpose right now. And I don't want anything else to accidentally get messed up. Don't think it will, but just in case we're not really using it, it doesn't really serve us a purpose right now because it doesn't really work. Excuse me. I'm going to make migration, so we're going to alter that. Manage.py migrate, and then we will once again manage.py, and then we're going to run the server. Run server. Okay, cool. Still works. Nothing is broken. The blog still works. Perfect. Great. Okay, we can actually delete this too. It just doesn't really need to be there at all. So this we don't need. This we don't need any of this stuff because we got the blog to work. So let's bring back this right here. And we're going to go to the roles and we're going to say, so an admin can do everything. An author can do everything a user can, as well as can add a blog post. So what we have to do is we have to see if inside our feed, we don't need this open, feed models, that's not where I put that, I put this in forms. This thing is set to admin or author. Okay, perfect. And I am, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm not set to admin here, I don't believe. My user level is set to user, but we can still see, so I'll show you. I can still see this, right? And my user level is set to user. So clearly this is working because it's doing it, but it's not giving that, it's not like the permission thing doesn't work. We might need to add user and then go to that. It still shows it to us, so obviously that's not what we want. That's interesting because this guy kind of gave that to me, so username. Maybe, what if I take away this and I don't say that, I just say user level. Yep, same thing, still shows it. Delete. What about this other guy's answer? Right here. A little bit different, but that seems like it might maybe work. So let's change this around. So he doesn't have this line here. He has this same line here, and here he has if, doesn't have that. If fields, yeah, then set pop, then do that. So how about this right now? Does that work? I didn't change it to exactly what he had, but if, let's change that then. So we'll say if not user, oh, you know what though? Let's change this back to what we had before and say this, because I don't know exactly which model we should be referring to. Huh. Alright, so then let's change it exactly to what he had then. So we'll say if not, then do that. I think that's what he had, right? Yeah. Let's see. He actually requests it. He doesn't just have it refer to it. So he says request. Alright, so it's still there. So let me comment on both of their things. It says it's doing the same thing. It's referring to a field inside of the model, so there really shouldn't be a difference. The blog post field still shows regardless of if it is me or not. Actually, really quick, I just want to see. Let's copy and paste these guys' entire things in, because I wonder if maybe there is something about like this specific field that we're using, you know. And there should also be a colon there. No, there was no difference, by the way. Yeah, nothing changed. So I just want to comment on there really quick just to tell them. Okay. So let's handle the permissions for authors and moderators. So obviously, in theory, this should work. We're saying if it's an admin or if it's an author, then we want it to do that. We want to remove, or if it's not an author or an admin. Oh wait, no, this handles that. Okay. And actually, I did like this better. So let's do that. So we have that. Let's now go and handle those permissions. And the permissions are mostly centered around being able to delete things. Where are we? We're here. So like a user can create posts, they can delete their own posts, they can comment on posts, and they can delete their own comments. Currently, the user permission is already set, and every user is set, or every user that's currently on here, which is only 4 people, is by default created as a user. Moderators should be able to edit posts and delete posts. And actually, the only thing right now that makes you able to do something or not able to do something is the template tags. There actually is not a permission set up. It just, if it is you, or if it's the right person looking at it, then it shows it, then it displays something, and if it's not, then it doesn't. So, so what we want to do is we want to go into the template tags under field, templates, feed, and we're going to say this. We're going to say this, actually. Yeah, no, we'll keep that. And user post inner. That's that. Delete post, comment form, delete comment. And user post detail. Okay, so we're going to start out with the user list because that is the home page of the site. So right now it says somewhere it says if the requested user, the request current user, and if they're equal to this. So now we want to add an or statement, and we want to say or the requested user user profile, I think, and then user level is equal to, wow, there's a lot, is equal to moderator, just so we know. Apparently I don't know how to spell moderator, so there's that. Is equal to moderator, then show that. So let's see if that works. Well, nothing got deleted. Oh, I don't have any moderators that are here. So I'm going to change my user permissions to admin. Let's make this say admin so I can just know if this kind of works or not. And let me actually then change me back to user. And I just want to see if this, alright, cool, so this does work. So I'm going to change myself to an admin. And I'm actually going to take this again and say or if it's equal to a moderator. Spell that right. Gonna go with yes for now. Then we can still see it. So I know that the admin one worked. For example, I just changed myself to an admin, and now you can see that for this admin, obviously I'm logged in as Garrett, as you can see up here, and I'm not the admin, but I can still edit and delete their post. So there's that. So that works properly. And the other thing that we want to allow to happen is for comments. So actually, you know what? I think we just want to copy this if statement. And we want to add this to the inner, because this will be on the actual user's profile. So let's just go and make sure that if we go to all members and then admin, yep, that's right. So this is the admin profile, and I can remove or delete it. I can also add a new post from there, but it shouldn't show up on their thing. Let's actually test that out. That's an interesting theory. Let's go to all members. Yeah, cool. All right, so that works as it should, which I did a while ago. Okay, so now how long have I been recording? Wow, this is long. The next thing that I want to do is, I want to take this, and I also want this to be on the detail page for not just the post itself, but also for the comments. So if users authenticated, okay. Oh, no. I feel like anyone can delete anyone's comments right now. Yeah, I think they can, actually. So, comment. Whoops. Comment, that shouldn't even be. Author. Where's models? User post. Yeah, it does say author. Comment author or admin or moderator, then they can delete this stuff here. And then also we want to end if. Okay, so let's add a comment here. Let's just see if this works. So also I'm going to change admin's permission to admin, because that would make a lot of sense. So let's add a comment here. I'm going to say new comment, just delete it. Okay, I'm going to log out. I'm going to log in as admin. And then I'm going to go in here and I can delete it. Perfect. Now the question is, can test? No, I don't want to do that. Can test do that? So let's add this. Let's say, can you delete this test? Let's delete that. We'll log out. We'll log in as test. See this? Test can't delete it. Perfect. So that works beautifully. So a moderator can, I'm just assuming because the admin can do it, a moderator can delete things, edit things. They can't edit comments, I don't think. That's because, though, there is no edit comment option. So that kind of makes sense. Maybe we should add that. I really have a headache. I have a coffee headache, so that's totally cool. Let's see. We can just leave that. I don't really think you need to. Actually, I don't even have an edit option for the comments. There really isn't one. That's cool. We can add that in later. Oh, I'm so tired. I was up at like 8 today or 9 or something like that. But I went to bed at like 2 or 3. All right, so what are the other things? Oh, for an author. So an author, we have that set up to be able to edit or to post things, but for some reason it's not working. And like we said, the user is already done. Let's see if they got back to me on Stack Overflow. They didn't. So that'll probably just be edited myself later on. But anyway, for now we did a lot. Let's just bring this over here so we can just kind of review what we did. We added a blog, which is super cool. However, the only problem being that wow, I'm really spacing. Oh, the only problem being that even if you are not an admin, you can still create a blog post, which isn't really what we want. We also have to style this a little bit better. Also, I think perhaps I will, at some point in the next video, or not in the next video, just in general, style this better. I was thinking more of like maybe just like a one column thing, so not having a sidebar. No, you know what? I want to have a sidebar because if this is in terms of like if I want people to actually use this, then you definitely want to have a sidebar. Maybe like I'll flip it or something, you know, have the sidebar on this side instead of, I don't know. I just want to do something to differentiate it between this like main page. But then again, also if you're not signed up and you're just using the blog, I don't know if it really matters, but I was just thinking maybe it would be nice to do something that differentiates it between this homepage where all of the posts live if you're logged in, and just the blog page, which is only blogs. So I think that would be really, really cool and helpful, useful, beneficial, important even to just differentiate that in some way. This all members thing is going to be at some point transformed into the Discover tab, and will kind of show like who like the best members are. But again, you know, that won't happen for a long time because you need something to discover in order to have a Discover page, and so we have to wait until this like community is kind of up and running and whatnot. But yeah, so we did the blog. We also got the permissions going. So if you're an admin, which I am, you can delete anything or edit anything. And if you're not an admin, then you can't do that. So moderators, if you want to be an author, let me know before like when I launch this. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I can have it done by this like the end of this week. And then, or if you want to be a moderator and just make sure that things are coinciding with our community guidelines, which I will write at some point. Then also let me know, because you can sign up and I can turn you into a moderator, and then you'll be able to like, you know, moderate stuff. So really, really awesome. Really loved where this is going. I think we did, you know, we really accomplished something today that was very important that I didn't actually really think about before, and that was like the permissions and whatnot. I thought about the blog, but not so much the permissions. So I'm really happy that we did that. And I think that's it. I think that's it. If I can get that like feature to work, or to be able to do that before I launch it, that'd be super, super amazing, because to be able to like, I think would really just solidify, or not solidify, would kind of complete the circle of a social network. I mean, you can, to interact, and you don't need to comment to interact with someone or something. So I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, so we're, you know, I have no idea how to deploy a Django site, by the way. So that's something that I'm going to be, you know, watching some YouTube videos, just trying to, you know, learn how to do that. But regardless, in the meantime, yeah, just really, really happy where this is going. And it seems like every day I'm making really great improvements on it. So I really like that. All right. Subscribe to the channel if you like this video, and if you like the other videos, because maybe you'll learn something. And also follow Code the Web on Facebook, and also on Twitter if you want to do that. I don't really tweet that much, but anyway. Yeah, see you guys in the next video. Take care. Peace.